It's so frustrating in the garden revolution today. As I grew everything, you guys knew about the germinations that I had done, and the roots were incredibly bound up together. So when I separated them out in the very beginning, this was months ago, I did not realize that a couple of them were growing together. And they were doing this so that way you don't feel so bad. This one's cool. I mean, it's got a nice stalk and it's doing something. I don't even know what. We believe this is in the jalapeno family or serrano because I have the package, so that had to have been. So this is what the roots are looking like, and they had to be separated. They were growing so nicely that if I didn't separate them, I was going to be in trouble. So I'm capturing this because, well, first, my husband's in Alaska and it's nice for him to see what I'm doing. And secondly, I thought of an idea. And I don't know if you guys do this on a regular basis or not, or maybe you're a newbie like me and you already have it figured out. But when you have a clump that is so large, like this one, it's really cool. See the mistakes I made? They were severe because there's so many stems and I couldn't pull those roots apart. So what I did was a science experiment because I had so many chilies. This one I was able to get out. Great. This one I was able to get out. This one, not so much, but I want to go ahead and try it just to see what happens when you have 3 seeds or 4 in 1 cup. Why not? I have so many chilies. This one may have been compromised. It's worth a try. This one I trimmed back because there was a huge middle part and I wanted to see if my theory worked. I could totally be messing up on that one. Keep this all in mind as I'm doing this, that a lot of these are like just a shot in the dark. Here's another really bound one. It's not root bound, it's tangled. So that's how that played out. So I thought I'd leave another one of those. This one's separated out. And as you can see, it's 2. And then, I don't know if you can see it on this, but see that little cluster that goes on in the center? Who knows what you do with that? You can just keep growing them and they keep getting bigger. I mean, you can do this stuff. I don't know. We'll figure that out. And then I went here to a bigger container. And then I went here because I was able to save this one. And I really liked this one. It looks real happy. It could be trimmed. It needs to be trimmed up, but I have no idea. I've looked at every video too, you guys. You know how obsessive I am. And this one, little baby, but I wanted to save it. That was just my heart, my soul. See those little tiny ones that come through? Sometimes you don't know what to do with those things. It's like, should I trim them off? Should I leave them? Or maybe just let them grow. And then this is another little baby that I fell in love with because that center, it's just, can you see it? It's like this little leaf. It's so cute. Could come back to haunt me. Then it hit me. Stick it in water. So this was a tangled web we weave. These were all tangled together as one, much like that bushy one. What I did, call me crazy, is I stuck it in hot water, warm water, not hot. And they just separated right out. Yeah. Wow. That was an awesome thing. Maybe, maybe not. This one, should I save it? It's kind of cattywampus and build. You know how we are. We love each little plant. Not even to mention my beans. And here's another one. I don't even know because it was so tangled. Oop, I lost a leaf. Here's another one. That's pretty not bad. It wasn't real thick on the outside, so obviously this one's still in the game. Oh, you guys, it was so stressful because look at this nice one. I mean, it's holding by the branch. Look at that sucker. It's heavy. It's hit wind. It's growing. And I think this one is completely a plant. I mean, look at that brown stem. It could be a habanero. I mean, literally, they sent me all these packages of just seeds, and they had no mark. So me being the novice that I am, sorry, I'm on the iPhone. That's a whole nother thing. I threw the seeds in the germination tray, like that one. I just threw them in there. And when I pulled them out, I had to do a save. Now I'm doing a second save. And it has worked out for me, but at the same time, these have not produced fruit, so this could all be a just big wash. But I learned a lot. So if you ever get into a problem being new and they're all stuck in a very big wad, stick them in water and they just gently pull apart. And then make your decision, I guess. But we still have this very promising one. And I ate a root on it and it was hot. And I'm Hispanic and I'm used to hot. Here's a bunched one. I'm just going to leave it just to see what happens. I mean, when you consider it all. Another thing I noticed last night that I didn't notice before is that there's differences in these tomatoes. There's this kind with the dark green leaf with the ripply effect. Then there's this. Those are different, and I just caught it. And to me, these are happy tomatoes. But see, it's stuff like this that makes me go like, what? Is that something that's good? Or do I pluck it off? And it makes me want to pluck, 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 like this. Pluck, pluck, pluck. Should I pluck it? I don't know. So I'm going to post it on YouTube and maybe somebody will tell me. Like this whole center. See this one? I mean, they're pretty tomato plants. You want them to produce tomatoes. I want a lot because I have a lot for the co-op and stuff to give. Some people I work with that need food. And that was the whole purpose of this. So see this? And then there's this little glob. What do you do with those? Just leave them? And then, or is this a bottom? Because I don't know what it's gonna go to because I didn't know what kind of tomato it was. And as you can see, it's a canopy. It's creating like a canopy effect. This is another chili I grew, and I know what it is. I have the package. It is a Serrano of the red variety. This is another one, and they're doing quite nicely with the light, by the way. And these are all onions. Yeah, don't grow onions at home. We'll find out. These are tomatoes, and I noticed this last night. These, see how they started getting a little nitrogen heavy? That's because I increased the feed, so I have to back off. But these are significantly different leaves than these darker green ones. Those must be the difference between the Roma and the beefsteak. That's the only solution I can come up with. So I have to back off of the nitrogen. It's buckling some of these under, as you can see. And that's nitrogen. Praxis said that, so I'm assuming that's what it is. Should I cut this off? Or does it stay? Here's the main stem. And I'm under the impression that that's all going to come off, so why not do it now? I don't know. Call me crazy. Just like this. What is that thing? What is that? Is it like a little tentacle? Here's the main stem. Here's the two. And then these little suckers. Like, are they suckers? That's the question. And the cabbage is doing well. The tomatoes look really pretty. I mean, they're very pretty. Some need some food because the leaves know this. Remember this. When you have all those tomatoes like that, some of the leaves don't get sun. So you got to keep them moving and separate them out a little. And here we have the same situation. We're in the center. You have this huge cluster. And you're like, what do you do with that? Do you leave it? So there's a double, triple maybe. And then, you know, the kale and the collard greens and the flowers for the bees and stuff. So I made some drastic moves today and it feels really uncomfortable. It's not fun. It's where you're trusting this instinct that you don't have. And I want to share it because I don't want anybody else to go through this and not know. Heck, for all I know, nobody's even going to watch this. So, yeah, that's what I did. It was really painful. Taking all your chilies, and I need 30 chilies is what I need, so fatal mistake made in the beginning, and there's nothing that you can do about it but cope with it and keep those things fed and address each problem every day. So I'm going to Steven a lot because he has a really delicate spirit about it, and I really like Steve when it comes to these things. He's very practical and he goes slow and yeah. So Steve from Alberta Urban Garden, he's an amazing guy if you ever need him. And I'll link this so he knows he's getting a shout out. Yeah, he's been walking me through this baby stuff. And I sunk some of those tomatoes in big containers, and you just gotta trust the process. So yeah, like this big little sucker right here. These are looking pretty tasty. But things are splitting off, and I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Everybody has different advice. So the beans are making beans. This tomato's looking pretty. And there's those onions they said I couldn't grow. That's the upside. I babied and babied and babied and lied and lied and lied, and they're coming through. And then I went ahead and I sunk some actual onion butts from the trash in here. That's an experiment too. It's a painful day in the garden revolution, but it needs to be done. So